Friday, everyone. This is Chief Meteorologist Jeff George with your UC Weather Watch update. Let's go ahead and get things going and talk about what's happening for this weekend. We can even start with this evening if you like. So let's go ahead and take a look at the surface map all across the U.S. Well, actually, it's most of the U.S., right? This is what we care about. Let's say that. And we have a couple of cold fronts going across the central U.S., extending into the northeastern parts. Got a stationary front that's been a pain in the neck for Florida the past couple of days. So that combined with a surface trough and a tropical system dumped all those historical rains across central and south Florida. But the good news is that most of the central and southern U.S. straight through Father's Day weekend. No major, significant, huge systems coming in. I mean, there'll be those typical pop-up showers and thunderstorms that we normally see at this time of year. So it's going to rain in spots, but it surely is not going to rain everywhere. And a lot of us are going to be able to do a lot of outdoor stuff this weekend. It's going to be hot, sticky, but it is almost summer. So we know what we signed up for, right? So let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about this map here. I thought I had the radar on there for you, but now there's your latest radar across a big chunk of the nation. And as you can see, there's only a few spots where we have really any kind of significant storms, and that would be in the Ohio Valley, around Ohio, West Virginia. You see a severe thunderstorm watch going on and some severe thunderstorms. Florida, thank goodness, is finally mostly dry. There are some scattered showers across I-4 in the central parts of Florida, and they head back towards Colorado, right about here, New Mexico, a little sliver of the Texas Panhandle, another severe thunderstorm watch, and severe thunderstorms tracking through. So if I was able to go ahead and put the SPC. This is the Storm Prediction Center convective outlook for today, and it paints exactly where those thunderstorms are at. So this is the severe risk for the rest of this evening heading into tonight. And you can see those places where we have strong and severe thunderstorms going on right now and severe thunderstorm watches. That's where the SPC has painted a marginal to slight risk, which means isolated to scattered severe thunderstorms in those areas the rest of today. And it's mostly going to be a wind and hail thing. An isolated tornado is expected. No outbreaks or anything like that. So let's get that off there. And you can see any storms that pop up in between those two areas right there are likely going to be non-severe and just your general type, summer type, late spring, summer kind of thunderstorms. Okay? And those can be gully washers, of course. They can produce huge amounts of rain. You always have to respect that lightning, but for the most part, a lot of dryness across the central and southern U.S. Now let's jump right into the tropical outlook, because I did a video on this last evening because we wanted to dispel, I don't want to call them myths, but there were some, let's call it what it is, some like mythical forecasts out there. There were some posts on social media to try to bait you into believing that Texas was going to get a hurricane, maybe a major hurricane, as we go into next week. It never looked like that. It's still not looking like that right now. Now, the National Hurricane Center, this orange blob right here, it has increased that from a yellow to orange, meaning that there's a 40 to 50%. Actually, the latest is a 50% chance, okay, that system down there, or that area down there, could form a tropical depression or maybe even a low-end tropical storm sometime next week. It's going to be a broad area of low pressure. It's not even there yet, so it hasn't even formed. It's going to form over the Yucatan Peninsula. That area is going to slide into the Bay of Campeche, and something could possibly start to spin and rotate down there. So it's going to be an area of low pressure. That's what's forecasted right now. If it gets deep enough, if it gets strong enough, it could turn into a depression, which means it'll get a number. If it turns into a tropical storm, which is possible too, it'll get a name, and that name will be Alberto if that does happen. But as we sit right now, there's a 50% chance of that happening. And honestly, about 4 or 5 days out, that's not a bad possibility. It's actually a good one. So I'm going to show you these models here, and when we look at a situation like this, especially the tropics, we look at all these weather models, all right? So I'm going to start with the European model, which is what you see right here. So focus on this area for me because this is right now. And let's go through the weekend. And as you can see, this is tomorrow. Let me see. Yeah, this is tomorrow and tomorrow evening. You don't really see any coastal showers or thunderstorms from Texas into Louisiana, or really even most of the central and southern U.S. Nothing real widespread. Now, what we're going to get, though, is a lot of moisture being pumped up from the Gulf. So you can see this whole area right here, okay, is getting a lot of rain, a lot of moisture being pumped in. So on Sunday, the Gulf Coast, like from Texas into Louisiana, Mississippi, all the way into Florida, the moisture is going to increase, which means the shower and thunderstorm chances will increase also. This is on Sunday. Most of this area stays rain-free and dry tomorrow. So it's Father's Day weekend, so if you want to do something with Dad in the central and southern U.S., try to get that done sometime tomorrow if you can, because a lot of dry time, rain and thunder possibilities really start to increase mid to late afternoon on Sunday, excuse me, heading into Monday. So again, this map is for Sunday afternoon and evening. You see a lot of moisture. Now watch what happens as we go into Monday and Tuesday. You see an area, the area of low pressure here that we were talking about, and this is what the National Hurricane Center is basing their forecast off of. It's not just this one model, it's a combination of models. They're looking for consensus and consistency with several models that we have. But they're also looking at a lot of other parameters and a lot of other weather stuff too. So it's not just that, but they do use this as a pretty solid tool to guess what's going to happen. So as you can see right now, it's a low pressure center. It's weak, and this would be classified more as a tropical depression, maybe. And you can see one thing for sure, that it doesn't really even get that close to the southern tip of Texas. It's several hundred miles to the south, that center of circulation. If it makes landfall right there, that's next Monday night into Tuesday morning, and it heads into Texas. Again, causes a lot of rain for the Gulf Coast of Texas, and really all along the Gulf Coast of the U.S. actually, because of all the moisture and the flow being pumped up from the south. Okay, so again, no major hurricane on that model, maybe just a tropical depression. That means gusty winds and a decent amount of rain. Okay, this is one of the American models that we looked at, or that we're going to look at. Let's go ahead and go backwards. Went too far ahead there. So tomorrow, mostly dry. On Sunday, you start to see the rain chances increase along the Gulf Coast. On Monday, you see this low pressure center form down here in the Bay of Campeche. On this American model, that's all the farther it gets. It doesn't even sniff southern Texas. Still a lot of showers and thunderstorms. Maybe some flooding rains for the Gulf Coast of Texas, though. Okay. That's another model. It's just for fun. Let's look at a third one. It's a German model, if you like that kind of thing. And going through time here, they're still showing the increase in the showers and moisture along the Gulf Coast on Sunday and the Monday. And then Tuesday in this area here, you see this area of low pressure pop up. It's weak, doesn't hardly do anything. Okay, so again, for Texas right now, just stay prepared and plugged into the forecast just to be safe, but overall, no worries on a big hurricane of any kind. Again, maybe a weak low pressure system that'll increase the rain and possibly the winds a little bit. Okay, what I'm saying is that you're going to make it, okay, with this system here. Alrighty, let's go and take a look at the Storm Prediction Center's forecast over the weekend. We just looked at this. This is for this evening and tonight. Strong and severe thunderstorms, Texas Panhandle into Colorado, Nebraska, Kansas, and that area that we were looking at from the Ohio Valley to the northeast. Let's take a look at tomorrow's. Cold front is going to be lined up from here, from Minnesota, all the way down to the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. That's what you see right there. It's a slight to marginal risk. That means no outbreaks, but isolated to scattered storms are possible. Right behind that, another cold front and an upper level disturbance coming out of Canada. Another marginal to slight risk. Again, this is mainly going to be a wind and hail kind of a thing. There's your tornado threat. Isolated wind and hail, scattered. Pretty big hail possibly in Montana, North Dakota. Okay, that's for tomorrow. And then on Sunday, Not a whole heck of a lot going on. How about that? We got the showers and thunderstorms increasing down here, Texas through the Gulf Coast. That's what we've been talking about. With all that moisture being pumped up, nothing severe, winds shear, and the ingredients are not there for severe thunderstorms, but possibly some isolated flooding rains, and that cold front that kind of meanders around and lollygags around the Great Lakes back into South Dakota and Nebraska. A couple severe thunderstorms should not be a huge deal. Okay. Let's take a look at Louisiana. Let's talk about your temperatures through this weekend. And this is not good news, but again, it is summer. Okay, so this is a weather map model forecast. This is for this afternoon. When you wake up on Saturday morning, if you're getting up at 6 or 7, hopefully you can sleep in for a couple reasons. Number one, it's Saturday. Number two, it's going to be super stuffy. So temperatures in the 70s with dew points in the 60s. It's super muggy. It's kind of gross. It stays hot and gross throughout the day. High temperatures around 3 or 4 o'clock. We're going to be in the mid 90s. Not quite as hot along the coast, but more humid. So that all evens out, right? So it feels like temperatures tomorrow approaching 100 all throughout the state. When you wake up on Father's Day, same kind of deal. Not fun to be outside, but if you're going to take Dad golfing on Sunday, try to do it as soon as you can in the morning, because that's when we're going to have the coolest temperatures, because from there it gets nothing but hot and nasty. 80s before noon, really 80s before like 10 o'clock, and then back in the 90s in the afternoon. Maybe not quite as hot on Sunday afternoon, mainly because we have those showers and thunderstorms coming in. So let me go ahead and pull up the rain chances for this weekend across Louisiana. Again, we got nothing going on. Rain-free, dry skies. I just stay safe and cool and hydrated. It got hot real fast this time of year, and believe it or not, it's not even technically summer just yet. So our bodies really are not used to this heat and humidity. Give it a few more weeks. Until then, make sure you take in a lot of water. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I just want you to be safe. Okay, and look at this radar for tomorrow. You don't see anything on there because nothing pops up. Okay, there's some like real sporadic hit or miss showers in the afternoon tomorrow across the state. Nothing to write home about. Don't plan on getting rained on tomorrow, really anywhere throughout the state. Now Sunday starts off dry, but look down here along the coast. Let me drop this down a little bit. In this area right here, coming into New Orleans, Slidell, and Baton Rouge by late afternoon. This is really around 1 or 2 o'clock, so you see a couple thunderstorms going, but as that moisture increases, the rain and thunder chances will increase too. So by evening time, this is like 6, 7 o'clock in the evening Central Time, just clusters of showers and thunderstorms from near Alexandria down towards Lake Charles and Lafayette, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Slidell. Count on some showers and thunderstorms passing through. That's why I was saying, if you got something planned for Dad, golfing, fishing, boating, barbecuing, or whatever, try to get all that stuff done in central and southern Louisiana. Have it wrapped up by 4 or 5, because rain and thunder possibilities will start to increase. Okay, and let's go back to this barren map. Let me wipe out these, get those fronts off there for you. Okay, so we're going to talk about. Let's see, rain chances across the central and southern parts of the nation, if that's okay with you. Okay, now we're going to be looking at a forecast model here, by the way. Okay, so let's start with the south. Let's go from South Oklahoma into Texas through the southeast U.S. Okay, and you're going to see a lot of what we just saw throughout Louisiana, a lot of what we just talked about. That, again, this is a forecast model. This is a weather model. And what we're going to see here is precipitation right here. Okay. So these are rain and thunder possibilities. Okay. So this is for this evening. You can see the, and trust me, you're not going to be able to see the timestamp on this. Just listen to me, please. So you're going to see some clusters of showers and thunderstorms, North Texas into the Panhandle. This is overnight into tomorrow morning. When you wake up tomorrow morning, look at that. Check it out. Almost all of the south, not a whole heck of a lot going on. A lot of dry weather, a lot of dry time, with the exception of central and southern Florida. Then we hit tomorrow afternoon. You don't see a lot popping up. So showers and thunderstorms, very sporadic, very hit or miss, except for central and southern Florida. And of course, with the heavy rains and flooding rains that we've seen in that area so far this week, it's not going to take much to flood some low-lying areas, or really any of those areas in central and southern Florida. So you folks have to watch out for not just rain and thunder, but some flooding too. This is Saturday, but besides, the peninsula of Florida, look at everybody else. If you got something you want to do, if you got something you got to do outside, go ahead and do it, because it's looking sunny and hot. Again, don't forget about that heat. And then we're going to shoot into Sunday morning. And you can see right off the bat, southwest Oklahoma, some showers, not much else. And watch off the coast of Texas and Louisiana, boom, those showers start to come in on, let me back it up. So again, this is right there. That's late Sunday afternoon and evening, so plan for that. Okay, and this model runs out about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on Monday. Let's slide up here a little bit, and for you folks in the central U.S., towards the West Coast and the maybe the Carolinas, between tonight and tomorrow morning. This is tomorrow morning. You see a huge complex of showers and thunderstorms lining up along that cold front from the Great Lakes, Minnesota, all the way into Missouri. So this is tomorrow morning. Iowa, Missouri, a huge complex of showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could be strong and severe. Okay, this is a forecast map. And what might be throwing you off is those watches and warnings. Let me turn those off. Okay, so there you go. So this is Saturday afternoon. It's a forecast precipitation map. You start to see showers and thunderstorms in the late afternoon, evening fire up from Kansas into Oklahoma, parts of Iowa, and into the Great Lakes. And don't forget, that's the area where the SPC has this area painted for any kind of severe weather. So any storms that fire up in this area tomorrow could be strong or severe, mostly with wind and hail. So you folks stay weather aware. Let's see, let's take that off. And don't forget on Sunday, that area just shifts up here a little bit to South Dakota into the northern Great Lakes. And your Sunday rain forecast for that area looks like this. Doesn't look too incredibly busy, but something you have to plan around for. So that's Saturday night into Sunday morning. Take a look at where you live. Illinois into Indiana as we go into the afternoon. Those lines of showers and thunderstorms. And that takes us through the weekend, Father's Day weekend. Okay, everyone, hope that was enough for you to help make some outdoor plans. If you ask any questions here on Facebook, I'll try to get to them later. But everyone have a great and safe weekend. Happy Father's Day if that applies to you. And if you've got a dog or a pet, that counts too. Don't forget about that. All right, everyone. From the UCN weather team, I'm meteorologist Jeff George. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Again, be safe, be cool, and don't forget, united is strength.